Pour your bubbly and cook with me. The soul of the home is in the kitchen.
Hi guys, we are here today at Champagne Toast with my fabulous friend and what should I say? Business partner, Micheline Bowman. She has been with Fox 5 behind the scenes for over 25 years, and she has finally closed that chapter. She's going to talk with us all about it today. I'm so excited for this interview. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you. I am excited to be here sitting next to Fabulosity times infinity.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's toast and get started. Okay, Micheline, let's tell the audience and everybody a little bit about Micheline. What is your background? Where are you from? Are you from the DMV area? Like, how did it start for you?
How did it start for me? Well, I have got to give shout out to my parents, of course, because here sits a 55. Ooh.
I'm on 55.
I'm on 55.
And fabulous, looking 35.
Oh, thank you. A 55-year-old grown ass. Can I say ass on here?
You sure can. We keep it all the way transparent at Champagne Toast.
Okay. I'm 55, and it has taken me all of those years to still get comfortable with who I am. You know, people don't understand that you go through seasons with friends, seasons with relationships, and seasons with yourself to understand and really appreciate who you are.
Yes.
So I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, but raised in New Jersey and New York.
Okay.
And this is the quick story. In 1982, my mom got stationed in California.
Okay.
But I decided that at the age of 12, I knew I wanted to go to Morgan State. So going to California was too far, trying to figure out how to get all that stuff back to the East Coast. So I moved with my father, whom I had not lived with since my parents divorced when I was like 2 years old. And I applied to one college, which was Morgan State.
Okay.
And I needed 2 years of in-state
Shout
residency.
out Morgan State.
Shout out them Bears. I needed 2 years of in-state residency. So in 82, I got that. I graduated, applied to Morgan, and I think the trajectory of my life took off because at that point, I kind of told myself whatever it is that I wanted, I had to go out and get it.
Yes.
You know? So I paid for my 4 years of college.
That she did.
And I graduated, and from there, while I was in college, someone at Fox 5, they
We ain't ready yet.
We ain't ready
yet.
Okay, well let me tell you something that a lot of people don't know about.
Okay.
While in college, my senior year, I got pregnant with my son.
Okay.
People like want to shut it down, like, oh my gosh, you know, come back next year, don't graduate, don't. All this negativity came into play.
Yes.
But I had a thing, 4 out the door.
4 out the door.
I came in 1984. I said I'm graduating in 1988. My son was born September 22nd. And 1987, 2 weeks after I had him.
Same year as me, 87 babies.
2
We're
weeks.
special.
Yes.
We're very special.
Very loving.
Yes.
2 weeks after I had my son, I was back to school and back in class.
Okay.
I had 21 credits, and I graduated with a 3.9.
My question would be, to me, it seems like you've always been so driven, you know, no matter what your circumstance was, or traveling, or, you know, whatever you was going through, you never stopped what it was that your passion was. So, did you always know that you would end up in television?
I did.
You did. So that was the plan.
The plan was television, but I did not know. I knew that at first I wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
Because people are like, you need to be a lawyer, you talk so much. But then I'm like, that's not where my heart is. That's where somebody else's heart is.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to be in television, but I never saw myself like being the anchor or being the reporter. I always saw myself behind the scenes to make the change that I knew, because you didn't see a lot of us in front of the cameras, like 1 or 2, and that's it.
Yes.
So I said, don't go for that. Go behind the scenes and make a difference and make change. And that's what I did.
Okay, and I love that, because if you didn't know, Micheline is literally like the blueprint for Fox 5 News and really putting a lot of black faces and segments and putting us on the map at the news house. So I would like to know, was that also a mission? Was your mission to say, okay, if I get behind this camera, I have to put my own in front of this camera and give us exposure?
It was. It definitely was. When I walked into that newsroom in '89, again, fresh out of college in 88, didn't really know much because you go to school for one thing. But when you're in an industry, you have to learn all over. And in 1990, Fox 5 Morning News launched. It was the very first television news program in the DC area. So I got to learn, when I say everything, to get my mind right to what it is I wanted to do. And then seeing the types of segments that they had on, and then like every time something negative happened, anything that wasn't positive, brown people were the first. And I'm like, they gotta understand, we have degrees, we have houses, we have cars, we have children, our kids go to private schools, all this stuff. But I was tired of seeing, one thing in particular, they went out and got a soundbite. It was in Southeast. We had a show called City Under Siege. I'm not sure if you remember that. No. The City Under Siege was showing.
What year?
That came out in the 90, 91. It was about the crack epidemic. I forgot.
But I didn't know much about the crack epidemic, and I know about that time and where the crossover was, and that's why I feel like you're such a gem.
Oh, thank you.
Micheline is a gem because she really came in at that time where Black culture was finally pushing through and becoming somewhat of the elite. Well, we were always the elite, but production was finally putting us at the forefront. A lot of TV shows were coming out at that time. R&B music was booming. There was a real pop culture in the Black community at that time. And so, to me, I just genuinely feel like you're a pacemaker.
Thank you.
Of that time. And what you did was so very important because the news is something that is our everyday regimen. You know, a lot of people don't like to pick up newspapers or read magazines. I'm a magazine lover. But like my mother is addicted to the news. She literally,
some people think it's like a fix.
Starts by noon, she can run down everything that's going on in the world because of the news. So to really break the mold and bring brown skin on the cameras and the forefronts of the news at that time where the Black culture was already making a huge, drastic turnaround. We were really getting our moment. It was like a time to be alive.
Well, thank you. And I guess for me, being at Fox 27 years, when I look back over my journey and all the different people that I've had a hand in helping from the DMV to be the first to be on television, I really didn't look at it like that. I was just doing my job. If I saw a good, segment or a good guest, I'm like, hey, you want to come on?
Yeah.
But people had to tell me, you're like the gatekeeper, everybody who gets on Fox, they got to come through you. But I've never looked at it like that because I just know that our people are kings and queens and have great stories that need to be told, and people need to listen. And I told myself, I will make it my mission that to this day, and I'm not even there, if I can bring you back on to tell your story so people can see the greatness that you have, why not?
And you know what? I think that is so amazing. I want to go back to when you say that at that time you didn't know, you just wanted good stories. And you knew that you wanted brown skin at the forefront of these stories. And the fact that it came from passion is what gave you longevity. And what will give you longevity in whatever it is that you like to do. You can't do it for the money or just because you got the position and you feel like you're in power. You have to really have the passion to just want to do something good. And that 27 years is a long time to be in that position.
Well, not just
that's 2 decades.
Yeah, I did so many different things. I went from the assignment to weather producer.
So Micheline is here to tell us. So I was going to get there, but let's go into it. No, please. Over the years, explain to everybody just how much you expanded and other networks you started working with and like what your career really became.
So when I got there in 89, I was on the assignment desk. So I would go out in the field and help with stories.
Yes.
Then I became a field producer. Then I was a weather producer, a traffic producer, a Chiron operator. I did the makeup. I became a news assistant, news coordinator, talent. I mean, I have so many different titles that I've done. I took over the internship programs, which I'm so excited because right here at the DMV, Annie Yu, who's on Channel 9 now, she was my intern. Annalisa Gale on Channel 7, she was my intern.
Amazing.
Ashley Demi, who was on 95.5, she was my intern. I mean, so there's so many great people that are here locally who are still part of my babies, as I call them, as I see them grow. But when they let me go in 2017, that's another story in itself. I was over 50, and I said to myself, their elimination is God's elevation.
Yes, I love
And I just
that.
knew that whatever God had for me, once that door was closed, it
Yes.
didn't matter. I just had to walk through it and
Yes.
trust the process that they said.
Yes.
And since then, I've been blessed to start Bowman Media Group and have people on every television station in the DMV, every radio station in the DMV,
Yes.
and not just locally, Miami, New Jersey, so I'm just blessed that I am a person to tell somebody, it doesn't matter when someone decides that they're 9 to 5, 8 to 4,
Yes.
when that company that you poured into
Yes.
decides that, hey, okay, the cup runneth over, so now we need to run along.
Yes.
You really have got to take a moment and figure out what God has given you and so many different talents and go from there. And that's what I had to do. Otherwise, I would have been in the corner, probably sucking my thumb someplace.
Yes, but it's amazing to know that you listen to God's signs. When God gives us that moment of saying, this chapter's closed. You took so many amazing things. All the things that you did at Fox 5, you had got to a chapter that had now run its course.
Exactly.
And now to step out on your own is amazing, and to be able to.
Too, though.
Of course. Oh, I'm an entrepreneur.
That's scary.
Baby, I was born an entrepreneur. I somewhat was set up like how you were set up. My grandparents set me up to be an entrepreneur from a child.
And I didn't have that.
And so I never had a 9 to 5 ever in my life.
So here we're like
So I live in fear every day. Every day is a risk waking up. Every day is prayer, hard work, pushing myself to stay true to the goal, because it is everybody wants to be an entrepreneur because they see the glitz and the glam.
It is not.
And they think you get your own time and things like that, but it is so much that comes with it.
To me, it's more stressful because you don't have that guarantee.
There's
check,
no
go
guarantee.
to HR,
Yes.
check, you don't have that.
That guarantee every 2 weeks, somebody taking your taxes out for you and doing, for systems that are set up to help your life easier when it comes to all of that. We have to do it all.
But imagine me being over 50, figuring out, oh gosh, entrepreneur.
And guess what? To me, my journey at 34 years old, about to be 35, and I've been an entrepreneur. I started my first business at 18. No matter how much someone teaches you, entrepreneurship is when it still gets better with growth and your own experiences and your own skills. I mean, I had so many people help me and teach me and all that, and I took those things, of course. But it's still like, as an entrepreneur, you gotta really get in those trenches, and you really gotta just get it done. It's like you're gonna have the highs and the lows, and that's a consistent thing. And once we learn that the highs and the lows is consistent, then entrepreneurship gets a little bit easier for you. You will have an up season and you will have a down season. You will have a paid year where you shopped and did everything. Then you'll have a slow year where it's about, kind of just sticking to the mode and not doing all the extras. It's balance.
Right.
Entrepreneurship is balance, and you have to be fearless, and you have to be fearless.
I've gotten my thick skin on now.
And that's what I help my good girlfriend with when we talk all the time. It's about being fearless and understanding how amazing you are. You really.
You're making me feel so good. I need to hear you on my shoulder.
That's what I feel from the day that I met you. I just, you have a special gift, and you really contributed a lot to the culture.
Thank you.
You are a part of the culture. And I just genuinely feel like now life after Fox,
it's amazing.
Is you kicking down this door of really letting people know who you are, what you did, and what is next.
Because, when people, they're like, what, you were at Fox? I'm like, yes. How long?
Too many people don't know this.
Like,
it's like a hidden figure.
Yeah, there's so much that people don't know. And again, like you said, working there, I had the highs and lows, ups and downs. But who doesn't have that when you're at a business?
Yes.
But for me, it was like, I don't burn bridges. You can feel, say, think, whatever. You let me go, I'm gone. Let me keep going. It's not time to kind of slay the dragon.
Because I'm sure that you'll be there again, but just in a different way.
And that's what I have. They let me go that Friday. I was back that Monday with Sugar Bear and Big Tony and some other people. People thought I still worked there. I'm like, sorry.
Amazing. And also, I just want to put out there, just so y'all know how transparent we are at Champagne's house. Me and my good girlfriend could be having a cocktail night, and then I could be talking about something, and then boom, a celebrity's on the phone. She just gonna go find the celebrity. I could be obsessing over Adele's makeup, and she's just gonna call Adele's makeup artist. Like, this is the life.
I forgot about that.
Micheline, this is the life inside of Micheline. Like, she is so full of resource. and just so full of knowledge that it's just amazing. I'm so blessed to have you on my team.
Well, I'm telling you,
and
I'm
have
blessed
you with me. So.
Her energy, I mean, I know you're interviewing me, but your energy, and I told you that when I met you, is infectious. And light attracts light.
Yes.
What people don't understand.
I love that. Say that again.
Light attracts light.
Light attracts light.
Yeah, so if you're in a dark place, and somebody who comes into your life that has light,
yes,
they are going to light you up.
Yes.
It's just one of those things, like I said, you don't see yourself going through the dark tunnel.
Yes.
See the light as you go through the dark tunnel.
Yes.
So you'll see everything.
Yes.
And your energy, I tell you, every time I'm around you, I take a little bit from you. I do.
And I have so much, to give, and that's why I started this platform. As an entrepreneur, no real budget, no nothing, but I knew that God was putting inside of me that it was time for me to give myself in a larger platform for people to really understand my trials and tribulations and how I got through things and how I have amazing relationships with amazing people like you, and that I needed to share that with everybody. A lot of y'all have me in private all the time.
Well, I'm just happy to be in this chair.
It's time to give it all out. So, what advice would you give someone coming up in the production world today? Because it's a whole new game in the production world now. We have podcasts, it's just so many different streams and avenues now to get your voice heard. So what advice would you give to the youth that is coming up and like you in college and know that they want to go into production? And
the one thing I tell people all the time is that communication is key no matter what it is you want to do.
Yes.
If it's television, radio, being a hairstylist, a makeup artist, you have to be able to communicate. So if you can't communicate what it is that you want to get across to somebody, how are they going to understand what it is that you typically or genuinely need?
Yes.
So I tell people all the time, especially brown people, we have our own slang, the way we talk, and we're around our friends and all that, but don't look at what we say as just a cultural thing.
Yes.
And how I gotta turn it on, turn it off. You need to be
you at all times.
At all times.
And I had to learn that. I was raised in a house of Virgos. Hey, Virgos. And anyone knows, if you really know signs the way that I do,
my son's a
Virgos are perfectionists, okay? And they believe in flaws being hidden or kept to yourself. And growing up in my house, you didn't talk about what you went through. You did not talk about what you went through. We were told on the first day of school, when you leave this house, you don't talk about what goes on in your house. Even though I had a beautiful house, it was never drama, abuse, anything going on in my house. I really grew up in like a very calm, spirited, very blessed house. I had a blessed childhood. But that instilled in me to keep things to myself. And becoming a hairstylist on the floor.
Oh, goodness.
With so many clients, it was like, Jay, you gotta start telling your story. You've been through too much. And I have helped so many women telling my story. And so that to say, you gotta be yourself.
You have to.
I feel like my life didn't start taking shape until I came out of this whole always trying to be on and perfect and started really giving you Jay. Because the things that I've been through, child, I would have never talked to you about.
But
there was a time
your perfection is your perfection.
The first year with my husband, I didn't even let him see me without makeup or getting my hair done. That's how vain I was.
Well, I wouldn't tell them that. Be
yourself.
Be your authentic self.
Be yourself. I was going nowhere, killing myself to go nowhere, being vain. You know what I'm saying? And being not who I truly am. Like the reality of myself is that I love when I strip down and I'm myself.
Because when you strip down, you
God. Yes, I rip out this glam so fast. I love glam. I love glam. But to love glam is to know that you can't stay in glam forever.
But I tell people who are trying to be in television now that TV has gone, anything in the media, TV, radio, podcast, has done a 360 shift.
Yeah.
Because now with cell phones and all that, anybody can be a reporter. Anybody can be an anchor. Anybody can have a podcast. So what I did for my interns, I told them, if you look at television, you see the same people every day. Every day. So what makes you think that they're going to want you versus somebody from Harvard or Howard? I don't care where you went to school. So I tell them,
being authentic is the only thing that brings that out.
And make sure whatever it is that you're going to present yourself as, it has to pop. So people remember who you are. And
and some people see pop as a gimmick. That I feel like in this new generation, that's what we deal with now, a lot of gimmicks. People are creating characters or creating being outlandish or over the top to stay relevant. And I just think it's all about just being authentic.
Yeah, that can work.
Anything authentic is going to draw
definitely.
an
that's
audience.
The thing, so I really.
And there's a space for everybody.
And that's the thing. There's the space for, if you want to be a sports reporter, there are other places that you can be a sports reporter. But sometimes I'm finding out now, create your own lane. Those numbers really.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah, you have to create your own lane because if you can create your own lane and you have people coming to you, come to you, eventually that ball gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You're like, who's Jay? Who's Micheline?
Yes.
Oh, I need to touch. Oh, I got her. Oh, who has
and
that
the beauty of, for me, because I went that route, creating my own lane. Because I have ideas that I just feel like only I can execute with like the people that I feel God has sent into my space. And so I'm creating my own lane. But the great thing about creating your own lane is the fact that you put other people in such great positions to be able to blossom, grow, learn, and become great. I feel like creating your own lane is to really bring a village with you. You have to give back.
But you can also, in the course of bringing your village with you, whoever's in your circle, I say this all the time, your circle is just as tight as you allow it to be tight. If you keep your circle like this, a fist.
Yes, it won't break. Nope. It won't break. And that comes from pouring into each other. You have to pour into your loved ones.
You have to have people who, if they're in the room with you and you get good news, they are so excited for you because your good news is their good news.
It's their good news. There you go. There you go.
They're like,
your win is my win.
But see, people, especially
in our culture, that's a struggle.
That crabs in the barrel that we have to deal with as African Americans.
And it's disheartening. It's disheartening. It is.
I'm the type that I will pour out of my cup into somebody's without refilling mine. And I had to, this whole pandemic has been a wide, eye-opening experience for me, making me say, Micheline, look around at all the people you've helped.
Yes.
And look at their success.
Yes.
And you are still the same place.
And
that kind of bothered me. It bothered me because I was pouring so much and I stopped, even before I came here, thinking about all the people that I've helped. And they are like just doing the damn thing. But I haven't gotten all the things that I wanted to get done. So this is the year, and I've made a commitment to myself.
That's about
to get
you.
And I don't want people to think that I don't want to be around them. But I am being around myself more to get my own things done.
And that matters. Listen.
And I didn't let myself matter.
When you are a giver, and that's me as well. We are both givers. That's why we connect the way that we do. We put ourselves last, and everybody's well-being is at the forefront. Everybody's success is at the forefront. Everybody being happy is at the forefront. But you cannot feel guilty for having a moment for yourself. That aha moment that you're having, I just had maybe a year or two ago. I'm just now stepping into that light because I sacrificed so much all my life to get to where I am. And so I believe that, I have to always give myself to receive.
Right.
And it's okay. Yeah. God wants us to be happy. God gives us perfect peace here on earth. And so if your peace right now is coming from doing something for you, then that's where you have to go.
It feels all right. Before, I hated to say no. I couldn't do it. Like, how can I do this for him, this for her, this? And I was making it. They say give something to a busy person if you want it done.
Yes.
So I was getting it done, but in the process, I still was not laying down at night feeling like I accomplished anything for myself.
Yes.
So now it's about self-wealth, self-awareness, self-love, it's about Micheline right now. So.
Yeah, come on
22,
now, I
what
love
you gonna
it.
do?
Because the more that we pour into ourselves, is the more I can give to you.
But I'm better. I'm a better person when I realize that I have to plug into a socket of power.
Yes.
Just like anybody else.
Yes, I always see it like this. A cup half full or a cup of the people that come to my home and party or have a good time, they will tell you that I cannot stand an empty cup. It is symbolic for me because a cup half full or empty cup means that we are running out and there is no more.
Okay.
The only way that I can give to you is the overflow of my cup. Yeah. And it took me many years to get there. But when that champagne starts to float out, all that's you, baby. That's you. So the goal is to make sure that we are always overflowing. But when this cup it's starting to look like this, that means I'm running on the last that I got. And it never should be like that because we cannot give on E.
You can't.
Nothing in this world works on E. Your phone won't work on E. Your car ain't gonna work on E. Nothing's going to work on E.
Nothing.
So you have to recharge yourself. You have to pour into yourself. You have to take the time to be one with God and just understand what He's doing for you. Because God only blesses us to bless others. Let that be clear.
I believe that. That's why.
So a selfish moment is not really a selfish moment. Because when God puts you in a place to get yourself together, to take on better things for you, you're going to give better things to other people.
And that for me, like you said,
it's a circle of life.
Yep,
it's a circle of life. It's a circle of life. So, rolling on around, I want to, on the closing out, talk about your amazing lifestyle choices. My good girlfriend is the only vegan I know.
Really?
I know more, but you're like my girlfriend vegan. I'm serious about being a vegan.
Oh, yeah.
And gives her great recipes on Instagram and social media all the time. What was your decision making in going into the vegan lifestyle, if there was even a real a reason why?
It was a reason. April Sampay, if she's April Sampay on Instagram, she's a singer and she's also a good friend. She did it for health reasons. You know, a lot of black women suffer from fibroids and different, female issues. And so when I saw her do it, and I was like, wow, her skin, all these different things about her. I'm like, oh wow. And literally one day I went to the grocery store, bought everything, my bacon, my everything.
Yes.
The next day I woke up, I'm like, I don't want to eat this. And that was April 26th.
Wow.
It'll be 2 years in April 26th this year. And since then, it wasn't about the weight. You know, I have several autoimmune diseases. Looking at me, you think that I'm fine.
Yeah.
But I have really rare autoimmune diseases. And I was just tired of, I did take medicine for them, but just tired of them flaring up and not feeling good. And since then, I really can say that the flare-ups have been, oh my God, few far in between.
Okay.
But I feel better. And I don't push it on anybody to become a vegan or plant-based. But I always say
she doesn't. Because y'all know I cook. We were at the cooking show. This is the talk show side. But we all know that this platform is a cooking platform. And Micheline will come to dinner, and if I don't have something vegan, you know, she doesn't complain.
No, because the thing is, people, our world is a lot of vegan has been around since being a vegan before I was thought about. People, animals came here not eating meat, eating, dinosaurs ate leaves and trees. Animals were plant-based. You know, a cow can eat plant-based. An elephant is plant-based. I mean, there are so many things that are huge that are plant-based, but people don't understand, like, meat's just another thing. So for me, I don't push it on people. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. I want people to eat what they want, you know? You have to eat to live. You don't have to live to eat, you know? It's a difference. And I love it. You know, I know you're probably like, okay, you gonna put some.
Well, you know what, I'm a very healthy person too, but I do eat meat, and I believe in the way that you cook and the way that you shop and all of that really matters. It's important. But I feel like what works for you, and as you get older, you start to realize that the body switches on you. You know, the body may be tolerable of something one minute, and then all of a sudden it's not tolerable of it anymore. So, you may go through different lifestyles when it comes to eating throughout your life. But whatever it is that you need to do for your health, I always think it's the best.
The one thing though, I tell somebody, whether or not you're a meat eater, vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, because there's so many different levels of vegan. There's so many levels. The one thing that is a known fact is sugar. If you get sugar out of your diet, it will change your life, period. You don't have to take out nothing else, just the sugar and processed foods. It will change your life.
Well, processed foods I don't do, but I'm not giving them sugar. But I love you, Micheline. Okay, so to close this on up, is there anything that you want our audience to know? Is there anything that you are working on or we should be looking for? Yes,
oh gosh, okay, so let's see.
What's going on?
I have several. Okay, so I want to tell people that I am a brand ambassador for 3 different places. I'm a brand ambassador for Experience Prince George's, where I go around and I highlight, showcase people, places, and things to get people to come to our county. We're in Prince George's County. I'm I'm the brand ambassador for an amazing handbag company called Neela Bags.
Yes, and it's so
they're
pretty.
It's a woman-owned business, all hands.
The leather is just amazing.
Yes, and then I am the brand ambassador. I'm a beauty brand ambassador for a skincare line for women over 50 of color called I Know.
Okay.
And I'm using those products as well.
Yes.
I know, women over 50, we like to have our skin looking
Come
good
on
to
now.
look like we're
Nice and
30
tight.
and 40.
Yes. Nice and tight.
And then we have a great women's health and wellness expo called Ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous.
That is major. It's the largest women's expo that comes to this area.
Yes.
It was virtual before, but
Yes.
that's coming back, and I will be the host for that again.
Yes, I cannot wait. I'm so excited to be
7 or
there.
8 years now. If you have not heard of Ubiquitous Expo, Google it. Sign up. You don't want to miss it.
Yes, I will be there this year, so yes.
It's major.
Yes.
So those are things I'm working on. In addition to just my brand Bowman Media Group, speaking, hosting. I was invited to be the face of Black Travel Expo.
Oh, wow.
That just happened yesterday.
That's
it happens in
awesome.
Atlanta in June, so
That's exciting.
yes, I'll be traveling to Atlanta.
Yes.
But other than that, that's
We love
it.
Atlanta.
I really just want to be of service to people while I serve myself.
So, and that's all you can do. And I thank you so very much for coming and sitting with me and, coming onto my platform and having fun.
This is just the beginning for you.
It's
The sprinkling of just the fairy dust over you to make you just shine is just there. It's an abundance. Because like you just said, when you're a giver and a doer, I say doers don't doubt and then doubters don't do.
Good. Come on now.
So you are
And that's
definitely
amazing. And that's amazing. I'm so thankful to have you as a friend and have you on my show. We will see you all next time, guys.
Let me get my
and the
champagne.
only pain that you endure in life is champagne.
Get my sip.
Pour your bubbly and cook with me.